Eleon Adventures is close to release, and I'm here to tell you which starter you should choose in my opinion. Let's first talk about the grass type starter, Venuki. Venuki will probably struggle a lot in the early game, and my reason behind that is that there usually are a lot of grass and flying and bug types in the beginning of like every Pokemon game. If Eleon follows the same format like Pokemon games, there usually is a forest in the beginning of the game, so then that's going to have a lot of bug types and grass types that can be a big disadvantage to Venuki. Grass types are usually really bad against bugs and grass types, and if this is the case, then Venuki will struggle a lot here, and I think that it will be very hard to actually beat some of the Eleons inside the forest. I do speculate that Venuki's second type might be Fairy, because in the screenshots that we have so far, its final evolution has some sort of staff that it wields, which I think will make it a Fairy type. Venuki has a very decent design, but there was a competition on Discord where Venuki got last place out of the 3 starters. Next, let's talk about Scoraptor. I think Scoraptor will probably be the best starter that does well in the early game. In the beginning of every Pokemon game, there are usually like a bunch of grass and bug types in the beginning areas. But I can be wrong about that, but I do think that this is gonna happen. In the old Pokemon games, usually the fire starter is the most common pick like Charmander and Pokemon. But there is a few exceptions here and there in those Pokemon games, but fire types are usually what people pick the most. And if it's true that there's going to be a forest in the beginning of the game, there's going to be a lot of bug types in the forest that'll let you train your Scoraptor to be really strong against all the bug types since it's good against it. If we look at this screenshot and the silhouette of the final evolution of Scoraptor, I personally think that the second type for it is going to be Dragon. I do think that a decent amount of people will pick Scoraptor since it got second in the Discord competition, and that means that people will most likely pick it but won't prioritize it as their main starter. Lastly, let's talk about Cascub. I do believe Cascub will be decent, but in the early game it might struggle a bit here and there, but I think it can manage to get through all the obstacles. Like I said before, grass types will appear here and there in the early game, so Cascub might have some disadvantages against some Eleons in the early game. People do like the water types, and it's usually tied with the fire type, so I think a decent amount of people will pick Cascub, and probably even more than I think. If there are a lot of grass types in the beginning of the game, it would be a struggle to actually train a lot because grass is usually good against water, so it might take a long time to actually train up your Cascub to be a decent level. Based on the silhouette in the trailer, I do think that Cascub's second type will be Steel because I feel that suits it most likely. Even though Cascub might struggle a bit in the early game, I do think the majority of people are going to pick it because it did get first in the Discord competition. Also, this is just my opinion, but at the end of the day, just choose what you feel like choosing because all the starters are amazing, their designs are amazing as well. And I do feel like a decent amount of people will actually pick between all 3 instead of having a majority for one of the Eleons. But whatever Eleon you want to choose, just go for it, and that'll be it for this video.